This is the Artist Entrepreneur Podcast. We are your hosts, Amanda Ritchie, Noah Dock, and me, Kerry Wee. We're three artists brought together by the love of circus and dance. Amanda from the world of Cirque du Soleil as an aerial soloist. Noah, our academic, and me from the commercial dance world. This is one of the greatest jobs in the world, but it comes with uncertainty. Each episode contains insight on how to pursue art-based businesses. We'll have a variety of guests and have lively weekly Discord. Tune in every week to hear our perspectives on the minefield that is the artist's way of life. Yeah, I'm sick as fuck. I sound sick as fuck.
You do sound...
had just like fatigue and like a fever, just a little bit of a temperature on Sunday.
Okay.
By Wednesday, I went back to teach because the only thing I had left was a little cough, and I like masked up and I took Mucinex, like cough suppressant, and I demoed, and I think that's what did it because now I think I have an ear infection.
No. Oh no.
Yeah, I just have like so much pressure in my head, and my sinus pressure has actually gone down from last night. Laying down is a problem usually when you have sinuses. And then my left ear has been clogged for more than 24 hours.
No, do you have to do that like candle earwax thing where they put the candle in and they burn it? Have you done that before?
What?
Yeah, it's like
this
candle thing. My mom used to do it all the time, where they put this funnel, this like candle thing, and they burn it, and it goes. I don't know what it does. I just remember her doing it all the time because she had really bad ear stuff.
Oh, this sounds like a little bit what they would do like in Game of Thrones, you know?
The medieval
times.
Medieval torture, medieval remedies. That's hilarious.
But having said that, like I feel kind of alive. Like we went to the grocery store, we stopped by urgent care. There's too much of a wait, and I didn't want to wait with my bean. So I'm actually alive today.
Good.
But I think I might have to go on antibiotics because
ear stuff is just not fun. You sound congested, but you look good. You don't look like you're sick.
It's totally fine. I just like when Bean was younger, they would, the doctor explained that like adults, their ear canal isn't the same as kids. Like kids' ear canal develops. Mm-hmm. And so kids are very prone to ear infections because the fluid bounces around. And for adults, it drains easily because it's, because of gravity, because it's straight down. Mm-hmm. Unless you do something like
hang upside down. Hang upside Yeah.
So that's what I'm guessing happened.
Yeah.
Not surprised I did this to myself, and I pushed a little too hard because, if I don't go to work, I don't get paid.
I know that feeling.
It's a fucking problem.
Yep. Yep. I know that feeling.
So do we have dibs on whether or not Noah's going to show his pearly whites on this one?
It's his birthday week, right? So I'm going to say no.
Oh, I know he's in Mammoth. I saw a mountain on his story.
Yeah.
There was snow.
Yeah. I could be wrong on it being his birthday week.
Okay, so I'm thinking there's not going to be a Noah surprise. But you never know with that guy.
That's true. I mean, you guys have to fill me in on like almost a month worth of things.
Oh my God,
we've so missed long. You. I've missed you guys too.
We've been whining and bitching and crying about it too.
It's so funny. My kids that I teach, my competition kids, they listen to the podcast religiously, and they're like, they talk about you all the time.
No, the word is we bitch about you when you're not there. We're like, hilarious. Amanda says she has a good excuse. But
that's funny. Well, tell me what I've missed because I haven't listened.
Oh my God. Well, we had a whole half podcast about real estate. Since you weren't here to hold us back from our more primal natures.
Amazing.
We like dove into that because he's thinking about, putting his money somewhere.
Yeah.
And my money is obviously in things where I can't use any of it.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's good because it's like locked in. Your investment is solid.
It is. So, I mean, it will do better there than any savings account that I have.
See? You're making your money work for you, which is the best.
It's going to work for me. I have no choice but to not spend it. So one thing I wanted to say before we do updates, it really put it up on my list of things to do after I have bandwidth. So after I move, after we get this first part of the renovation done and we decide what we're going to do before we actually move in. I actually, what happens when I'm a little sick is that I'm like scrolling, right? I think that's probably everybody.
Yeah.
I'm scrolling and I'm going through my reels and I ended up like listening to this podcast on reels, like just like, you know, whatever, 1-minute clips. And it's this political podcast where the son and daughter who are Democrats try to talk to their MAGA parents.
Oh, interesting.
And they're all in. Like, the parents show up, the kids show up, they go at it.
Okay.
And my point is that I never would have found this podcast, and I'm already in before I even listened to a whole episode, because I've been, like, shown, like, digestible clips of it. So, not surprisingly, I realized to myself that we need one for the artist entrepreneur.
Of course. I love it.
Where we pull clips from. It's just Zoom clips, but it's like the captions are written out. It's maybe 30 seconds to a minute. And it's really effective and probably the only effective strategy for getting new listeners, probably, that you don't meet in person. So my point is that I'm just adding to my own layer and layer, my layer cake of work, which seems less impossible when I can hear and breathe.
Fair. I feel like that's fair. Sure.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean,
Hi, Bean.
Hi, Bean.
You're fired.
I'm fine. What do you mean? I'm here. Noah's not here.
Oh, it's because you were late last time.
No. She hasn't been here for 4 weeks.
4 or 3.
So-
I'm here today. Noah's not here today.
Well, I'm firing both of you.
Oh, deal. I'll take it.
Listeners, you should have seen her eyes get really big.
I'm
She was
surprised.
spicy. Oh!
The head bob. That's hilarious, Bean. Piggybacking off of what you just said, does that mean that all of our Zoom recordings will now be turned into reels? Is that what that means?
I don't know if the old ones will.
Okay, but moving forward.
Oh, look at this Bean. You're so beautiful. I love you. Yeah. But I have to say, you're beautiful just the way you are, Amanda Ritchie.
Oh, man. Didn't even know. Okay. I'm okay if you want to do the recordings. I've gotten over it. We're good.
Well, it's okay also because some of these reels actually are very effective as well when they just focus on the main video, like of the host, of one of the hosts, and like the voices are just coming in on captions.
Ooh, I
so
like
it's possible. Amanda, we missed you.
I know.
But you were in Nashville, is that true?
I was in a few places. I was in Atlanta, Chattanooga, and then up to Nashville.
Okay, so tell us how it was.
Oh my God, it was so fun. Well, I was in Atlanta. For family. We did the whole family thing. And it was my birthday week, so I was there for my birthday. And
my God, happy birthday. We missed it. There's a lot of birthdays here on this podcast. We're all summer babies.
I love it. I love the summer babies. You're a Taurus, and then I think Noah and I are Geminis. I think Noah's a Gemini. I don't know. Again, I don't know.
Okay.
My memory has been shot to shit. Just
it's okay.
so you know. But yeah, it was great. And then Chattanooga was awesome. I have some friends there, and I did a little bit of businessy things. And then up to Nashville. Nashville was just for fun, and we just had a blast. We did like all the honky tonks and all like the country stuff, and it was really fun. And like all the nature stuff.
Are you into country music?
Is
that your jam?
Well, I like all types of music. Country music I like. I like line dancing for sure. I don't discriminate.
Ooh.
I like all the things.
I grew up with country music and I never really hooked into it.
Yeah.
Because I'm from Ohio. Is there any artists that you like?
Yeah, a few.
Yeah.
A few. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna like list off my
Your
but
playlist.
no, I like country. I like country a lot. But I like everything. I like classical, I like rock, I like metal, I like all of the things. I like rap, I like soul, I like R&B, I like them all. I don't discriminate in music.
So with your trip, am I crazy to think that you don't often go on vacation?
I never go on vacation.
Okay, so what's going on 2025, Amanda Ritchie?
So actually, I lied. I when I turned 40, it wasn't a vacation. I went to Mexico to teach the residency at Sweet Retreats. And on that birthday, I went on my birthday. I decided that I was going to spend at least one trip out of the country per year. It didn't have to be on my birthday, but for my birthday. And so last year I went to Costa Rica, which was a vacation, and I went for like a week or 5 days, I guess. This year I still haven't gone out of the country, but I did go and spend like, what was it, like 10, 11 days I went with family, but I also went for businessy things that I can talk about. I'm not necessarily at a place where it's happening, so but it's been so long that I'll give the update. It's fine.
Okay, wait. Noah's gonna be so mad that
I
he wasn't here
know.
for this.
It's okay. He'll live.
Yeah, she's just giving her update. That's all, Bean.
Full fired.
He's full fired. Okay, you can tell him. I'll that's your deal, Bean.
I love that.
So
He's
yeah,
full
please.
fired.
And listeners, this is a case where Carrie also has no idea because we haven't been catching up,
That's
except
true.
for public with you guys.
That's true. That's
I'm
true.
the detective who is late always.
Yes.
Amazing. So I have been keeping it under wraps, and it's still kind of everything's still up in the air. Nothing's set in stone, but I have been actively pursuing for space of my own in both LA and Chattanooga. And so I've looked at several places here in LA for not necessarily an aerial studio. It won't be that. I'm not going to compete with anybody. I'm not going to open up another space. Like, there's no need for it. But someplace where I can train and I can have classes and I can have private clients. And so that's kind of the deal that I've been keeping hush hush for a multitude of reasons that I'm sure you can guess. But going on my trip to Chattanooga, I did the same. And I have a community out there as well. So thinking about opening up a true consortium type of space with multiple different businesses, one being an aerial studio that I would potentially run out in Chattanooga.
Where is Chattanooga, Amanda?
Tennessee. It's on the border. It's really close to Georgia. So it's southern Tennessee, northern Georgia-ish area.
Oh my God.
It's like
yeah.
2 hours south of Nashville and 2 hours north of Atlanta.
Okay, so from a structural perspective, it's not like a regular, like you are an owner of a studio. Is it?
Not in Chattanooga, no. I would be, if anything, I would be owning my business, but subleasing. I would be renting out a building from a bigger company. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
So I would be a tenant, so to speak. I wouldn't be a studio owner, but I would be running my own business as a kind of classes and studio based, but not a studio owner.
I mean, we could have guessed this whole time that this is kind of what it was because you hint kind of.
Kind of, yes.
So, okay, wait. Here's my questions.
Yeah.
Are you going for both simultaneously, or are you trying to pick one of these?
Both simultaneously.
Okay, and then if one comes through, then you just go with it?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay.
But if both go through, I go with it. I go with both.
Okay, question mark. Does that just mean that you're bi-coastal?
Yes.
Okay. How does one do that? Like, where would you live over there in Chattanooga?
I would be with my family, so I would be staying with my family, and I would commute if as
Okay, so
needed.
it's close enough.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
how
yeah,
close
yeah.
is close enough?
I mean, it's like the commute I do here, you
Okay,
know.
yeah, it's like an
So
hour or two, something like that.
it's the same. I'm used to it. I'm built for that, you know. So that doesn't bother me.
Oh, I
I
love
know,
this.
I know, I know. So the place in Chattanooga, though, I have, like I said, a community out there, and there's not really a space for Ariel there at the moment. They used to be one, and that studio shut down, and so now everybody has been like chomping at the bit for space, and so there's a big itch that needs to be scratched over there. And so without any competition, so the community is coming together to open up this space. Grounded is just going to be a heavy hitter part of that, but I don't
Okay.
necessarily have to be there day in day out teaching classes. That's not going to be my role. That's not going to be my main role in the space.
Okay. Okay. By the way, we talked about this in the last episode. One of my students who moved to Austin, actually, when I moved out here, she randomly went back on Memorial Day weekend to visit friends, and a lot of those friends are our students.
Oh yeah.
And she was told, she was given the news that you had as well abandoned her. You abandoned as well.
She abandoned us first, so she abandoned me because she left.
Are you talking about me?
No, talking about the same person you're talking about.
Oh, Emily?
Yeah.
No. I know, but she was told by her other friends that both Amanda and Kerry have abandoned them as a group.
And
Very dramatic.
very dramatic. It's so dramatic. Funny.
You're hearing it? I hear you. I hear you, Bean. Okay, so from a business perspective, Amanda, how has this process been for you?
It's been frustrating, but it's also been really exciting, and it's been a lot of information. So looking at spaces and looking at potential studio spaces, a lot of spaces lend themselves to different things. So the smaller spaces that I've looked at have lend themselves to more of like a private client situation. Maybe I hold like a few classes a week and that's it. It's a place to hold my act creation program. I can do more of those. It's a place where I can also have fire. Um, and so other places that I looked at are larger spaces that are more of a true consortium type of stuff. So figuring out what is more feasible and where I can fit in and what I can guarantee on an income base for the lease has been the tricky part. Without having, multiple businesses in my space. So the space out in Chattanooga, I would be more of a tenant. The space in LA, I would be the owner.
Is it overwhelming when it comes to contracts and like looking at rigging?
Yes and no. I have an amazing team of people. I have a solid rigger. I have an amazing contractor slash architect on my side who's been with me like every
Okay.
step of the way.
So you can tell you what's possible and how much it'll cost and everything. Okay.
And I have an investor who has been wonderful, and she's been doing a lot of the real estate conversations back and forth and a lot of the lease terms back and forth. So without those three people on my side, I wouldn't be doing it. It wouldn't be happening. So I've been learning a lot from these three people. These three humans have been incredible. And so just like the verbiage and the language alone, have learned so much. So the fact that they're willing to help me and communicate with me and communicate with everyone has been game changer. The most stressful part is the quote, right? Like, so one of the spaces I was quoted out for rigging alone, 40 grand for rigging,
Uh-huh.
which that's like, those numbers are the scary part, right? Because
Yeah.
it's a big upfront cost. It's a big overhead. And with and like I said, it's not if this happens, it's not going to be an aerial studio. There's enough of those in LA alone. I don't want to compete with anybody. That's not my jam. I don't want to take anybody's.
You just want to do your work.
Yeah. I don't want to take anybody's clients. I don't want to take anybody's students. Like, I just want to have a place, one, for my private clients, the people who want to train with me, my Act Creation program that I run, and my training alone, and my content and all of that stuff. So that's the goal for that.
Yeah, 40,000 for rigging when you're not trying to fill the place with classes. That's a lot.
It's a lot. But that being said, that in particular space was one of the largest space I looked at.
Okay.
And that space would lend itself more to a true consortium type of format, where it would be
so sharing.
I would be the overhead, but then people would sublease from me. So, like, if you wanted to come and teach workshops, that would be you. If Noah wanted to come and do his cocktail bar setup there with a full DJ, that would be possible. So places and things like that to hold events, more of a flex space, a creative flex space in that bigger space.
Yeah. Not that different from Tanya's space is in her backyard, so it's like it's in her backyard.
Yeah.
But people come in, they rent it.
Yeah, but they rent it like purely for aerial, like maybe some dance stuff, but this space in particular would be rented out for a multitude, like a true creative flex space. Like
an art gallery could work there too, right?
Like an art gallery, concerts, fundraising events, like a lot of different things. Like even a regular gym, functional fitness could live there. A Pilates space could live there. A pole studio could set up shop there. That's how big this space is.
Okay. So are you leaning, like with the LA stuff, are you leaning one way or the other, or what does it depend on?
It depends on terms, the lease terms. And so there's one space that I loved that I was a little too late on to get in on it. I actually really loved it. I put in a letter of intent, and they accepted it. We were going forward, and then I got cold feet, and I was like, it's a lot. It's a little bit too much. I don't know if I could do this. And so I declined, and then I kept looking for spaces, and there was no space that quite hit the mark like that initial space. And then I went back and I reached back out to them. And by the time I reached back, they had already accepted another lease. So that space is no longer available. So that's heartbreaking for me, but that's okay. I'm going to go with the fact that it just wasn't the right timing for me on this particular space. So I'm continuing to look, but now I have a really solid foundation and a really solid structure of what I want to work, how I want it to work, what I need financially, and all that good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's a lot.
So that's why, I mean, I didn't want to say anything, one, because freshly off of, a few studios and me branching out on my own, like people talk and word spreads like wildfire. And so I didn't, one, want to get anybody's hopes up. And two, I didn't want anybody to think like I was stealing clients or stealing business or anything like that. Like I said, that's not my jam. Like, I don't want to do that. And I don't want to take people out of their already routines, right? Like there's enough aerial spaces in LA alone. I don't want to compete with any of that. And so navigating that is that's why I've been keeping quiet,
Yeah, I get that. Not necessarily on that tip, but just like opening a studio tip, like totally different. Like I think to myself, what I had thought I might want to do when I moved here, I'm so grateful that it's not turning out that way. I'm so glad that I'm being added to an already existing studio, because even this week, so I'm sick. I have a lot of classes on the schedule because we did that. We put me on the schedule. But when I get sick, it's like, who's going to cover my classes? Those classes weren't there before I got here. So I think to myself, what if I had again, this has nothing to do with your situation. What if I had like come here and like put up a brick and mortar and done the thing? Like, they're already kind of a startup studio. It's only a couple years in, and I can feel that the infrastructure is there, but it's not there like 100%. And it would just be so hard to like, just have life.
Well, agreed. And that's one of the reasons that I was looking into more of a flex space than a studio space. Because owning an aerial studio, you have to be willing to cover every single class on your schedule, or cancel class, which if you cancel class, then
you're not making any income.
You're not making, and then that's also sending out a signal to all the students, all the clients, all the prospective students and clients to be like, oh, well, we don't have enough, so we're just shutting doors. Like, especially as a startup when nobody knows you yet, right? And so that's something that I wasn't willing to do. I wasn't willing to be married to a studio, and so that's why the flex space works for me. And the way that I would run it, if people wanted to run and do their own classes, it would be more of a 1099 situation. I wouldn't have any employees. I agree with you wholeheartedly that having a studio space is, like I said, it's not something. If it was just an aerial studio, I would not pursue it. I would not even give it a second of thought. That's not my jam. I don't want to do that.
I mean, it's just like, who did I talk to on my other podcast? Like, they opened a studio however many years ago. It's like you're living there, you're covering all the classes, and like you have to treat different clients a different way. Like, I'm teaching beginner classes. Mm-hmm. If I was teaching more advanced classes, I wouldn't feel the responsibility to demo all the time. Mm-hmm. That's how I was at the loft. Like, these students are my longtime students. They don't need me to demo a hip key. Yeah. But then you get a new client through the door, and then it's a very different situation to be like, I'm not going to demo anything today because my head can't go upside down. Because they're going to be like, I've never seen this in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that at this stage with these particular students. I will be able to do it later. The short / long-term commitment to these classes that we've put on the schedule. So anyways, I am very grateful to be added to like an already like established situation, even though it is a startup.
Totally.
Because it's too hard on one person. And let me tell you, Amanda, there's being sick, and then there's being sick and having your kid home in the summer.
That's right. Summer vacation.
Two different things.
That's amazing.
Because
how you doing?
I have to say, she is doing really great. Like, she's doing her best to help me, and like not me. Yeah, you're doing your best, but like it doesn't matter. Like they need their needs met.
Yeah.
And there's no one else to do it.
Totally.
Survival. It's just full on survival. So, oh my God. Okay. I love this, and the audience will love the check-in.
Finally. Yeah. I mean, I have a format that I'm not willing to talk about yet on how I'm planning to make it work in the aerial studio world. When I get the space and when it actually happens, I will divulge all on how I'm planning to make it run. But right now, until it happens, that I'm not gonna speak on yet.
Well, we will be waiting with bated breath. It's okay. I'm just glad to get a morsel, okay? So you've trained me to just be so excited to get a taste, okay?
my plan, my evil plan.
Your evil plan is working. I'm just like, like I'm getting table scraps, and I'm just so happy.
Amazing. I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think the last time we talked a lot about Noah's, like, the success of the cookie cocktails.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so dying to hear about it.
Delish. I'm just mad that I can't go to these events. It's not that time of my life anyway.
Fair. But hey, here's what can happen in the space, in the flex space. We can clear out everything. We can have workshops, and then we can have after a party that Noah can set up his full bar. We can have music, and we can have his cocktail party right after tailgating your workshops. So it's like a one-stop shop for you.
This is the other thing that we talked about. We talked about doing a retreat, the three of us.
Oh, heck yeah.
Like selling a retreat, the artist entrepreneur retreat.
Oh, heck yeah.
So same type of idea. But, we should start up with the pop-ups and then build it so that we can sell the crap out of it.
I mean, heck yeah. There could potentially be a pop-up for Chattanooga. There could potentially be a pop-up here in LA. Look at that.
I mean, it's pretty exciting.
I'll keep you posted. I'll keep you posted on what happens. But if the spaces don't work out in the near future, then we should definitely still move forward with the retreat space.
If one of the spaces don't work out, is it just going to be like something that you're going to just pursue until it happens somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm also going back to school for my marketing degree. Yeah.
Okay. When did this transpire?
I know, all the new things. This is a very recent thing. I actually have to enroll in classes today.
Okay. So how long have you been thinking about this?
For school?
Yeah.
It's a weird question because I've always kind of thought about it, but I was so, like comfortable in my way of life and my business and where I'm at right now. But going through this process of getting spaces and finding spaces and doing the whole brick and mortar thing, it's been clear that I know less and less and less, and I want to know things. And so right now I'm like, you know what? I'm only getting older, and it's never too late. I did what I wanted to do, but like now I want a different trajectory for myself. And so yeah, I just want to know more things.
Okay. So how did you choose the marketing out of versus a business degree or something?
Well, still kind of in the business world. There's a 5.5% job increase projected for 2026 to 2032 or something like that. So the market for marketing is still flush. It's still needed. It blends a little bit more of the art and the business side of things. So it's more creative, in my opinion, right now than just the business degree. I still have to take a bunch of business courses. So I might change my path as I go. I might just go business law. Who knows? I don't know. For right now, that's where I'm starting.
Okay, so this begs the question. She's doing her lip gloss in the Zoom right now, guys. This begs the question: how does Amanda teach her classes, make her income, have 2 flex spaces, and then go to school?
Well, the flex spaces are a prospect, right? They're still in pursuit. They're not in fruition yet.
They're not reality yet. Okay, sure.
My format for running these flex spaces will make it possible for me to do all the things. It's just a lot of scheduling stuff. But the school, my classes, I am slowly condensing down to ideally one space, one studio that I teach at. And that space will cover my basic needs. It'll cover my rent. It'll cover my gas. It'll cover my food. It'll cover my insurance. And in that one space, I can also run my act creation program as needed.
So you're basically condensing down to one studio that you're working at.
Right. That's the goal. And I'm slowly chipping away and making that happen. I'll have more days at that space, but it's not as far. And most important, I can run my own stuff.
You'll be driving less. Your time was going to be more concentrated in one place.
And if, so like there's a lot of things up in the air still. There's a lot of ifs. Like I said, the space is still in pursuit. I'm still looking, and I'm still actively looking.
It's online school?
Well, I have to look and see. I have to enroll today. I think I can take some classes online, but I think it's mostly in person.
Oh, okay. And what's the degree you're going to be getting?
I'm going into a 2-year, just community, and with a option to transfer into a 4-year. So I'm not deciding on a degree yet. I'm going to start with marketing and see how I like it, and then
Okay.
yeah. But I'm looking into ultimately my master's.
Okay. Right, because you didn't do college at the traditional time.
I didn't do college at all. So I'm starting from the very beginning. And I toyed with the idea of documenting this journey as a 42-year-old woman who ran away with the circus when she was a kid, and who did, all the things that I wanted to do. I traveled the world. I performed at Cirque. I did all those things, and now I'm doing the traditional adult or additional, like, you know what I mean. That my brain isn't working at the moment. Yeah. The traditional life path at a very advanced stage.
Well, compared to an 18-year-old, but yes.
Well, but I'm not the norm. I'm definitely not. I'm the exception, not the rule. So I toyed with the idea of documenting this journey and putting it on YouTube and TikTok. I don't know if anybody would be interested in seeing it, but just a cool.
Yeah, I think people would be interested. That would be great. Oh man,
I know,
listeners. She gave us all the goods. You can reach it, Bean. Go ahead and get it.
So am I not fired now, Bean? Because I've not been just not showing up. I've been doing work. I
think she gets disappointed when you guys show up because she can't fire you.
Ah, okay.
One other thing that happened while you were gone is that I got this, coming from left field opportunity that I've decided to chase a little bit, but not chase in a way that's really stressful, which is great. I'm like a junkie. I'm like a political junkie. I don't know if you knew that about me. Have I told you that?
I kind of guessed. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I knew that.
By the way, she asked me to buy her ballet tights. She's not in ballet right now. She just wants to wear them. So she's just in ballet tights.
Oh my goodness. Does that mean that she's going to take ballet at some point?
Well, she was already last year. This year we picked gymnastics, and next year I asked which one does she want. She said, both, mommy. So I'm just going to shell out some money. Anyways, long story short, I had been talking to my sister that I'm like, I kind of have regrets about not going into it in the first place, but have since I've told you about my process, come to terms with my young person choices, the first half of my life, basically my choices. So I was going to go into politics. I did all these congressional internships and such, and kind of feel a little twinge of regret that I didn't go down that rabbit hole, because it is also something that is better to do when you're younger. Interning for all these people, you don't get paid. You need to have youth on your side where you don't have a lot of responsibilities and this and that. So anyways, after lots of talking to my sister, one of her close friends, decided to run for Congress in North Carolina.
Nice.
Yeah. So she was like, maybe you talk to him. He's in need of staff. And so I did talk to him. He's like, look, I have no money for anybody. I was like, well, good, because I'm not looking for a job. I'm just
experience.
So anyways, he's like, well, why don't you look at my website and try to spruce up the language?
I love that.
And so I wrote him a proposal. And he's really busy raising money, so we haven't gotten a chance to talk about it. But that's kind of in the works.
That's exciting. Heck yeah.
Get that other part of me, exciting. That part of my brain working out a little bit.
Yeah.
And what I have noticed is that in taking information, there is a really big upside to it. I almost feel like this part of my life where I'm just wanting to listen to a lot of podcasts, not in all cases, because some are more educational than others, but I feel like I'm in a mini college for myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where I'm intaking a lot of information. Yeah. Whereas maybe 10 years before I wasn't doing that. So I'm kind of I kind of love the idea of it. We'll see what actually happens. I am 100% overwhelmed right now with this renovation and the soon moving.
When are you moving? When is that happening?
Well, that's our choice.
Okay.
So we were thinking, we already have 3 big projects going on in the new house. Asa has almost finished all the flooring on the upstairs, the wood flooring. He just has to put on new trim. He's cutting out holes and putting recessed lighting in the entire house. That is maybe 50% done. And I am about 65 to 70% done on the kitchen.
Nice.
It feels endless.
Yeah.
And I know
it's gonna feel endless. Yeah.
Until it's done. Because it just feels like, we can only put a couple hours a week in.
Yeah.
And Bean doesn't do well over there. I also think it's part of the reason why I got a little congested in the first place, because there's a lot of dust in the house.
Oh.
I think that was part of it,
Where you're N90 and 95? Wear the mask.
Yeah, I should probably
just when you're there.
Yeah.
So that way that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, especially now when I'm a little vulnerable, because my sinuses are vulnerable right now.
Yeah.
So, we could have spent a lot more, but I'm for sure about $10,000 just the renovation. We're not talking about what I put down on the house or the closing costs. So it's like, it's scary.
Yeah.
Legit.
Yeah.
For me to just see my bank account just like shrink. I know it's not forever. I know it's right now. It's not even like I can't see the fruits of it because it's right in front of me. Like the house is there and it's tangible. But we have to move all of our stuff. by July 31st. Now, There will be one thing that will be relieving is that we don't have to pay for the rent that we are right now paying for this house.
Got it.
That's a huge weight lifted because it's like $2,100 a month.
Got it.
That we won't have to pay for anymore. Starting June 1st, we didn't have to pay for Bean's private school anymore.
Nice.
So it's starting to
So you can play catch up. Yeah.
We can play catch up. We also learned that our tenants over in Delaware are leaving at the end of their lease. They're going to move to Philly.
Oh, man. Okay.
So we got to figure that out, but we have until like September, October for that. So we're like in the real estate side of our business, we're very heavy into it right now. I feel like my business is not getting my attention, which sucks. I feel like fortunately I don't have a brick and mortar, so it doesn't have to pay the same price as if I did have a brick and mortar. The online is a little bit more forgiving. I did get rid of, for now, I put my Roll It Out classes, the one that we were talking about me kind of putting on hold, put it on hold for the summer.
Okay.
Because I'm out of town too much. And I'm just like all over the place for the summer. So that's a little bit relieving, but that money's not coming in either,
Got it.
So the times that I have been able to like really sit down and do work for my business, I felt really good about it, but it's just few and far between right now. So between like the house renovations, me being sick, her not being in school, Sweet Retreats is next week for me.
What's coming up? Yeah.
Yeah. Kerry got me one more client, so we're adding. So we're 15 total for my students.
Awesome.
Between all of those things, I feel like I have no bandwidth. And most of the things that I really want to like dive in on my business are going to wait until mid-July or August. No, sick has never been hard until I had a child. Like I thought so, but it's just like
no rest. Your body needs rest and you don't get it. Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like, how do you heal?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, so am I living the dream is the question.
I mean, yeah, you're living someone's dream. Yes. Yes. Somebody out there, multiple people, in fact, are dreaming and wishing that they had what you have and are in your same position. That is a fact.
That is a fact.
That is a fact.
I dreamt of having a child. We, as a couple, have dreamt about having real estate. I have wanted my business to be busy. For sure, this was my dream. This is my dream.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. The middle of it's tough.
Being in the day-to-day of your dream is exhausting. It's exhausting.
I mean, I don't even, like, you're like kind of pre right now because you're starting things. So you might have one or two spaces. You're definitely going to school.
Yes.
How do you feel about all that?
I feel good. I feel really good because I'm used to having a jam-packed schedule. Like that's just, I'm
Yeah.
so used to working and like working and working and working and working. And so it's the same schedule. I'm just actively putting my focus into different areas. Like it's, which is really exciting to me because I get the aerial stuff, I get the school stuff, and I get the business stuff. So I have all of it. And they all intertwine and they're all meshed together anyway. One helps the other, helps the other, helps the other. So, and it's not me being alone doing the business side of it. Like I said, I have an amazing team of people behind me. And so I feel really good. Now, talk to me 3 months down the road when I'm in the thick of it, 6 months down the road. I might be wine in my hand, crying, but right now I feel good,
I love this check. Yeah.
Worth it, right? Worth the month of me being silent.
It was worth it. I mean, I always want both of you guys here, but I really do have fun no matter what. Like, Noah's a freaking hoot.
I love Noah too. I know. I'm sad he's not here today.
Listeners, if you're already here, I'm so happy to have you. What I want to do is get the social media thing going because I like literally the algorithm after I watched a couple of those reels, it just kept on sending it to me and I'm in. Like I want to hear like I'm in on the cast of characters on that podcast. And you know, even with movies they're doing it where they like give you a scene and you're like, "Oh shit, I need to go watch that movie now." So then I look up where I can stream it and then like go watch it. You know, it's the thing. It's how it happens. So
teaser trailers.
And you are getting an education of marketing and you're going to be able to tell us all your new what they're teaching now is kind of like the new stuff. Like when I learned half my like marketing and PR stuff, it was like, times have changed.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious to see how AI is going to be infused in the education process and the learning process and what the tools are there. Because it's such a big, So I'm happy to share and all the new things that are up and making the world run.
I'm playing mermaid.
You're playing, so this is your first time without your fins. I see. I love it.
Bye, we love you.
Bye, love you, bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find Amanda Ritchie at Grounded in Flight on Instagram and at Noah Doc on Instagram as well as Red Flags app. And me, Kerry Wee, you can find at wrapyourheadaroundsilks.com. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. We have so much more coming at you, including guests that are in this art world that are blazing their way through new businesses and, just more banter from us. Thank you for listening. This is The Artist Entrepreneur.